Hey, you guys, welcome back to Romance Review TV with Lady T. And I got another recap for you guys. Love Island USA Season 4, Episode 27. And look like, even though we lost 5 people, we got another triangle coming up. And we have a blast from the past with Mackenzie from Love Island USA Season 2. So we're going to unpack all of the drama in this episode. But before we do, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel to receive all updates. And please don't forget to like and share. So as we remember, we're coming off of the Snog, Marry, Pie challenge where it kind of rubbed Courtney the wrong way, even though she said she enjoyed it. And then we had a dumping because the public was voting. We lost Chauncey and Jared, and we also lost Bella and Chaz. And a lot of people was happy for Chaz to be out the door. But unexpectedly, because Kat had a connection with Jared, she decided to self-eliminate. So pretty much we went from losing 4 people, out of the villa to losing 5. So now in this particular episode, everybody is saying their goodbyes. A lot of folks, Chaz been in there for a while. He was probably in week 2. And so him and his sister left first. Chaz now is leaving. It was interesting. He said that he came into the villa and he's coming out as with growth and a better man. Okay. And then we had some of the other Islanders that was leaving saying things about vulnerability. And I think that was Chauncey that had something to say about that. And Kat got what she wanted. This is her first boyfriend, so she is excited to leave the villa. Okay, she came in with no man. She's leaving out with a boyfriend. Or maybe, so we hope. So now let's talk about this whole thing with Chad and Courtney. Now, Courtney was in the bottom. They were saved, I guess, because they had, even though they were saved to be a part of the villa, they didn't have as many votes as the other people. And that didn't sit well with Courtney. Courtney was like, okay, if the public is telling us that we're not working as a couple, maybe I need to consider that. How about maybe you figure out on your own and not worry about the public? I mean, if you truly want this man, go for it. Now we have Isaiah and Sydney. Now, Sydney is like, you know what? I want a clean slate. How about we do that? But you got to put in some work and you got to prove it to me that you are in for the long haul with me, and then we're going to do this together. And so they gave us a little pause of hesitation for a moment, but he said, you know what, I'll do whatever I do to prove, whatever I need to do to prove to you that I am all in. So Sydney is happy, and she says she don't care what the public has to say. This is her decision. Maybe he needed to go through that to figure out what he wants, and she's okay with that and don't care what nobody else thinks. So, hey, that's on her. So now let's go over to Phoebe. Now, Phoebe is the villain, looks like, so far this season, because she went from Isaiah to Chaz with 2Z to now Chad with 1D. And I'm like, she obviously knows, I guess, the influence that she tend to have, which, of course, didn't sit well with Courtney because she's looking for an out. Well, I think this particular opportunity gave her one, because now Phoebe is like, you know what, I've always been interested in you, but you just told Chaz with 2 Z's that you've been thinking about kissing him for a long time yesterday. Now, all of a sudden, it's been a long time and you couldn't wait to get to Chad. You two were in 2 separate villas at one point. Okay, whatever. So then the next morning, here we go with Phoebe with her, divide and conquer technique. She's in the beauty room telling, the girls, of course, Courtney is in there, about how much Chad wanted to explore the connection with her and he's interested in me. And, it's like, these guys gotta know what Phoebe is up to. I mean, she is really getting some guys in trouble. But hey, they're part of the problem too. So now Chaz had a conversation with Timmy, letting him know, like, hey, I want to be with Courtney. I don't know what's going on with this girl. She gave me an ultimatum at bedtime. And I don't do well with ultimatums. Doesn't that sound like an ultimatum to you, Timmy? And he was like, well, yeah, you should be able to make the decision on your own and not be manipulated into a decision by an ultimatum. And the thing is, all this is predicated on the fact that she's feeling some kind of way because they were in the bottom three. Now she's looking for an out. So now they have a conversation about this whole thing with her and Phoebe. And it's pretty much her complaining and going back and forth. This girl is uber confusing. Because one moment she tells him, why don't you just go and do your thing and explore your options? We're on 2 different pages. And then on the next go round, he says, well, I don't want to leave you. You want me to leave you? No, I don't want you to do that. It's like, girl, what are you trying to say? She gets mad, walks off, because here's the thing. She don't want to be the bad person in this situation and break up with this guy. And of course, everybody's wondering what's going on because she's so emotional about this. She goes in the beauty room. Of course, our counselors, which is Zeta in this case, go and see what's going on. And she's like, I just can't take this. I don't like being in this position. And I just don't understand. And he needs to make up his mind. He's not the one that has the confusion. You do, Courtney. Because he's told you several times that he wants to be with you. You're just mad that it's not as easy as you thought to get out of this situation. And so now you want all of the emotional support to help you through a decision that you already know that you want to make, which is you want out. She wants out. So now they get a text message saying that they get to have a little R&R just with the girls, and they're excited, and that leaves the boys behind. So yeah, they're having a good time in the meantime while the boys are just sitting around. Well, they get a text message too. With the girls being gone, they get a little R&R with some beans, barbecue, and hot dogs. And so, of course, we had Chad on the grill. The boys are playing beer. Is it not beer pong? I forgot that little game. But in walks a blast from the past. Mackenzie from Love Island USA Season 2, which was in Vegas in 2020. That's the season with Justine and Caleb. Now, I gotta say, you can tell it's been 2 years. She's 25 now. She was really emotional in that season. This girl, Mackenzie, cried. A lot of people thought it was manipulative a little bit because she cried over everything. But she has a lot more confidence now. I think because of the experience of coming through this process, she's coming in a different person. So she gets to sit down and have some conversation with our other counselor in the group, Timmy, I should say. I was going to say Zimmy, to try to get a little bit of intel on the guys. Who is solid, who's not solid. And one of the people that came up in conversation was Jeff, and whether his thing was solid with Naja. And it's interesting that Timmy says, even though, they seem pretty cool, I think it's still a little bit of an opening there. So the girls are, pretty much getting settled in their whole retreat situation, a little calm spot. And Courtney is still playing poor me. She don't want to be in this situation. You don't have to be in this situation. Just tell the boy you don't want to do this no more. But at this point, they're trying to give her support. So now back at the villa, Jeff now has a conversation with Mackenzie. Mackenzie is, trying to figure out where he at. She actually thinks that he has very kind eyes. She don't feel like he has this hard, his exterior may be looking hard, but at the same time, he seemed like he's a really nice guy to her. And she did ask about the whole experience with Naja, and he was like, yeah, but I need to test her a little bit just to make sure that she is 100% solid with me. So I'm going to be open to have conversation with you. So now the girls are having this little game to figure out who did what last, who had sex in the villa last, and all of this. What we did come to find out in this whole game that they had with each other is that Zeta has been celibate for the last year and a half. And a lot of the girls were shocked by that. But I mean, with COVID happening over the past year and a half, if you were single, I don't think you were out and about like that. So it's a possibility. Now we're back in the villa. We see Joel now having a conversation with Mackenzie, and I actually like the connection here. He's 28, she's 25. There's a little bit of maturity with him, and he seemed like a solid guy. Not saying that the other ones aren't, but I can see this particular match having a potential. Now they decide to take pictures, and Mackenzie decides to send a text message with the picture saying, "Hi girls, can't wait to meet all of you guys. Your guys are actually fire." And so of course they hightail it out of there. A couple of the girls recognized who she was, and I think Nadja did. So now we're back in the villa. We have a conversation now between Chad and Mackenzie, and she said that Chad was in her top 3 and that she was excited about trying to get to know him, but there's some hesitation with Chad. He always seemed cautious when he's getting to know somebody, and I don't know if he had a bad experience or something, but he always had this cautious look. So the girls come into the villa to try to see what's going on. I even heard Zeta talking about, where's Timmy standing at? Hopefully he's not standing nowhere next to Mackenzie. But Mackenzie comes in, they give her a warm welcome, and Deb is like, yeah, she better not be trying to take my man. Jesse ain't going nowhere, girl. You're fine. So now we're back to this whole conversation again with Courtney and Chad. I'm like, would you just go ahead and just leave this man alone? Now, he did call this conversation with Courtney to let her know that, of course, Mackenzie has interest in him. He's just trying to be transparent. But he wants to let her know, yeah, she got interest in me, but you're my focal point. And she's just not hearing it. I don't want to be a part of this. At first it's Phoebe, and now it's Mackenzie. You need to make a decision and make up your mind. But at the same time, she's saying, you know, I don't want you to go. I don't want to be treated like this. I'm not going to stand for this. I know my worth. Okay, well, just walk away. Just walk away, because you're confusing Chad. You're confusing us. And she even said in the beauty room that she don't think her guy is here. So just go ahead, take that move, and say, you know what, we're on 2 different pages. And I think at this point she did recognize that, because this whole thing with her and Phoebe and Chad is about to get messy, even though he don't even want to be part of this whole triangle. So there you have it. We have our recap for Love Island USA Season 4, Episode 27. Who do you think Mackenzie is going to settle down with? Let me know. Let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. Do you think it's going to be Jeff? Do you think it's going to be Joel? Or do you think it's going to be Chad? So we'll have to see. So I hope you've enjoyed this recap. Take a second to make sure you're subscribed to this channel. And please don't forget to like and share. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.